Hey everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. In today's episode, we're going to be studying a piece by the established 3D artist known as Davish, and in this episode, we're going to be looking at this rather dark aesthetic. We're also going to explore the double-edged sword of technology, so let's jump right into it. So whenever you first see this work, your eye is likely drawn to these intense rays of light that are casted from this harrowing skull here. Your first impression is likely one of shock or awe, so we wonder what exactly we're witnessing here. And so I see our subject, of course, is placed in the perfect center, really making them the center of attention, if you will. We see this effect further reinforced by a light on dark accent. This dark background allows the light to just shine so blindingly, and it's going to catch your eyes without a doubt here. Another thing you may notice is the impact of texture within this work. We see this quite clearly, primarily on the kind of rough and cold ground below. It's hard to say exactly where we are, but there is no doubt that the texture really immerses us so well within the scene, as if we're taking part in this discovery ourselves. And so, like I said, one of the first things you're going to be drawn to is the impact of light within this composition. It just invigorates spatial composition and offers a vivid visual energy for all who stand before it. There is no doubt about that. And within this work, we see, two subjects here who appear to be discovering this massive skull here. And with them as reference, you can note just how large this skull is, right? If they're about 6 feet, then we're looking at something that's probably, close to 30 feet tall. And so this grand sense of scale no doubt provides a testament to the monumental and incredibly impactful moment we're witnessing here. And with this in mind, how do y'all feel when you view this piece, or even what do you think we're looking at here? Two very interesting questions for this piece. And so for really countless millennia now, the skull and bones more broadly have been used to convey death, disintegration, and decay. We see this quite clearly as we're offered an apocalyptic aesthetic, if you will. We see, wires. We see what appears to be almost a gas mask in a way. We have, different tubing going out from our subject's form. It is incredibly apocalyptic and even toxic, if you will. A very dark aesthetic. There is no doubt about that. And like I said, within this work, we see, various subjects who appear to be in an act of discovery. And, it's hard to say exactly what's happening here, but they kind of keep their distance. They're not touching it. They are not too close to it. This one kind of kneels, and they're both just observing the sight before them. So it is a very impactful scene. There is no doubt about that. In creating this work, the original artist Davish was talking about the advent of technology. Of course, the skull or the head is a symbol of consciousness, right? It is where knowledge sprouts from. And the skull in and of itself represents decay and death. And so we kind of combine those. The original artist was talking about how technology has caused the death of so many different things. In the past 30 years alone, technology has changed everything. It has drastically altered our lives and even caused the death of some lifestyles as well. And so that's incredibly important here. We see that death signified by the skull. There is no doubt about that. But with the act of death comes the potential of rebirth, and we see that quite clearly, right? You see this new light which sprouts from our skull. There's even implied lines which, of course, converge within the skull there. But this birth, this new sourcing of light, provides a testament to a new age which we are in, right? Today, we have more knowledge at our fingertips than ever before, through the use of phones, computers, Google, what have you. And there's so much knowledge out there that you kind of have to pick and choose exactly what you want, or else you're going to be overwhelmed by it. And so, it's important to explore with respect, just like these two subjects are doing. It's important to, pay very close attention to technological advancements and the impact which they may or may not bring. I think that's incredibly important here. And we see this, I absolutely love how the skull is a symbol of death, but there is a juxtaposition from the sourcing of new light within that. So, awaken to that possibility, right? Get this new knowledge and bring that in, because there is so much potential. It ultimately lies at a choice. Like I said, we have so much power at our fingertips due to the advent of technology. And this technology can be used for good or for evil. You could be used to be incredibly bored and waste time, or you could be more productive than ever. And I think that's an incredibly important point. We've seen technology no doubt kill many vast styles of living, but we've also seen it, open up so many hours of productivity where we can use that to spend time with others. We could use that to study different things, of course, ultimately at the choice of the one who wields that power. So really hope y'all enjoyed today. This is a profound piece. There is no doubt about that. It is a digital render, so it's incredibly realistic. Like I said, when we're talking about texture, it feels as if we're immersed within the scene, as if we're standing there ourselves. And so, the digital render provides that incredibly realistic aesthetic. We absolutely love to see it. And the digital rendering program used here was Blender, so an incredibly high skill ceiling. If y'all want to get into 3D art, Blender is going to be a really good program. Everyone from amateurs to professionals are using Blender to create their works. And so on top of that, the original artist just had some additional edits in Adobe Photoshop. So of course we have the render, we have Adobe Photoshop, making this a mixed media piece and a masterful one at that. So really hope y'all enjoyed today. We talked about so many different things, the impact of this vivid visual energy through light, the impact of, a subtle texture, symbolism of the skulls, the death of technology, or the death caused by technology, and the inherent rebirth of a new age caused by that. There's so many different things we hit on today. I truly hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all enjoyed today's episode, make sure to check out the original artist Davish, doing some amazing stuff in the world of 3D art. Incredibly surreal, but also pays very close attention to the symbolism of the works which he creates. So, like I said, I really hope y'all enjoyed today. If y'all did enjoy this episode, make sure to check out the original artist Davish. My name is Apollo. This was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.